definitely have when Massey's off.
I think they've got something in that Massey marking, Brad. That sort of Massey kind of style in Brad Martin. I think he can
Possibly.
do that job, that kind of blunt instrument job.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's not with the best will in the world. It's not a sophisticated role, is it?
No.
but every team needs one, or one or two at least. So yeah, it was good. But yeah, I mean, other than that, Salford never quite went away, did they? I thought they played reasonably well considering their form hasn't been great. But yeah, no, I thought Cass overall, they took advantage of errors when they came their way, and yeah, they were good. They were good value for the win for me.
Yeah, I'll be honest. After the Mossop sin bin, I was completely zoned out on this game for the last 10 or 12 minutes or so. So I don't even remember Tuilola here scoring. But yeah, the second half just kept sort of, it was sand through the fingers kind of stuff. It just kept dropping away from Salford. The hen's teeth that is a Chase Blair try, and then the penalties started, didn't they? The high shots. It just felt like every time Salford were controlling a Castleford set of a Castleford attack, they'd drop in a high shot, and it just give them, instead of having the intention of whatever they were trying to do, which is put in that physicality, it just gave Cass the safety release, and it kind of made things easier for Truman and Richardson and McShane, being the clever players that they are, to just see out the game.
Yeah, I never felt like Cass were in any danger of losing this, even though it was close.
I mean,
It
Andy
never felt
Ackers
like that.
was great in the first 20-25 minutes, weren't he? And when he scored that try and they went ahead, I almost felt like, what's happened here? This wasn't the script, but Salford at that point were there, weren't they? But never after half time did I feel like they could actually grab a hold of the game at all.
No, they lost that control that they had to start with in terms of play the ball control.
Who stood out for you then as the star man or men in this one?
It's got to be McShane, unfortunately. And I only say unfortunately because it seems like he's the only player that you talk about. But yeah,
the aggravation is he played well, but he didn't score a lot of fantasy points.
He's no good for your fantasy team, but,
no,
but in a real team, he's
because Danny Richardson took
well.
over kicking again this week, which pissed me off. Sorry, that's just my axe to grind.
That's fine. You can feel free to grind away. No, I mean, I thought they were. McShane was probably the best in terms of an individual performance. But yeah, you can't be a good forward running rampage into the line, can you? So it's always good to see.
And Holmes moving into the middle, unaccustomed to that, put in a big shift.
Yeah, definitely.
That sort of shows this kind of like leadership role, I think, within this squad nowadays. Is no longer the sort of joker out on the boats. He's got a bit more responsibility.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Saturday's match then, if you've got nothing else to add.
The last thing I'd say is that I thought Truman's try was brilliant, enterprising stuff, but that's all really.
Yeah, he's a great attacking player. Okay, Game 5 this week then took place on Saturday lunchtime. Warrington versus Hull KR. It was actually 18-12 to the visiting Robins. They thought they were on for 3 in a row until Warrington upped a gear in the second half. It finished 50 points to 26. Defence is not on top. Scott Michalauskas was the referee. In the stats, Wire made over 250 more metres and had a big 1.7 metres per carry better average gain, although only one more clean break. 2 stats that truly set the teams apart, though, were tackle success rate, Wire being 5% better than Rovers, and errors. Rovers making nearly twice as many with a 23-12 count. I think errors nowadays includes 6 agains given away as well as handling errors, so all-round errors. Individually, Toby King with the ball was good. 1 try, 2 try assists, 172 metres and 2 clean breaks for him. Played in both centres as well in this game, which if he hadn't have been so poor defensively for at least 2 of the Hull KR tries would have been a really good thing for Sean Wayne to have seen, but he had to see the other parts as well. Chris Hill, 138 metres and 3 successful offloads. Mike Cooper, 131 metres, 4 successful offloads. And Jake Mamo, the box of frogs, with 1 try and 135 metres for him. Ryan Hall for the losing Robins, 2 tries, 154 metres, 2 clean breaks, 3 successful offloads. And Kane Linnett, 1 try and 110 metres.
So onto the fan views. David Hunter says, defence is not important. Well, it certainly wasn't on show. Rovers were good early, but some really soft efforts on the right-hand defence. Both sides just kept scoring down their left sides, and the game was in the balance until the intercept from Jake Mamo. It was a heck of a catch, that, as well, from Mamo. It was a bit, I don't know how he did it, to be honest.
Great catch and great sort of recovery to get up and then get around Linnett.
Yeah.
Great speed off the mark after basically the very, cartoonish catch and fall. Yeah. That was the.
It was a bit Looney Tunes, wasn't it? But yeah, no, if games had turning points, this was it. So David continues. After that, Weil put the foot down and pulled clear. Ashton at the back is the way forward, and they always look better with him there. Some late tries did pad the score.
Tom Andrews said, a coming down to earth game for us. Great game in the first half with some great moves and tries. Second half was a shit show, and soon as we went 2 scores down with plenty of time left, we were playing desperate rugby and Wyatt just pounced on easy tries. I was going to mute the crap commentary, but the commentators had both their mouths full of GI's balls, so I didn't have to. GI was okay. Looked better when he swapped to fullback. Yeah, the fucking commentary. That's what they all came to see. No one was fucking there. Anyway.
So EFC 78JU says, Greg Inglis is an absolute beast. He got his try and barged a Hull KR player over during an attack on his debut. What a result for the White on Saturday, with Curry scoring 2, King getting 1, Clark got 1, Mamo still can't be caught when he intercepts opponents attacking balls. Charlie got 2, Walker got 1, Ratchford got the 7 conversions. Fair play to Warrington. That's why we got 50. Well, that is literally why he got 50.
And Neil Ormston said, a much closer game than the score suggests. Not quite sure how we scored 50. A scrappy game and both teams need to focus on defence, which was poor. Not sure why we switched King to the right for GI. We looked better balanced with him at full-back and King on the left, which we might see for 80 minutes next week.
I'd suggest the movement around was because they're not really sure where to play GI yet, are they?
Oh, well, and Ashton went off with an ankle injury, so it looks like he's got elastic limbs anyway, so maybe he'll recover. But depending on how he comes back around from that, they might need to think that over. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a bit strange that Greg Inglis can just dictate terms on a situation where a player's been playing really well, like Toby King has this year. So, I didn't like that from Price, to be honest. But it gave Toby King an opportunity to do what I think he needs to do, which is show that he can play both sides of the field to be able to get into the England squad. Now, he showed he can do it in attack. He scored his try down the right, and he set up 2 tries down the left. However, defensively, I've pulled out his poor defending on Sean Kenny-Dowell's try, where he didn't wrap the ball up from a seemingly very straightforward wrap the ball up position, with Kenny-Dowell going over the top of his head to put the ball down between King's legs, it looked like, and just paying no interest in the blind side for Abdul's try at the end of the first half. That was so sloppy, and that's the kind of detail-oriented stuff that Sean Wayne will be all over. But 200 tries for Greg Inglis in his career, that's a big landmark, and to do it on his Warrington debut as well, I think it will make so much of the conversation be about GI from this game and in the build up to next week's cup games where it's going to be on TV. So it'll probably be the first time we see him, that we all get to see him in a Warrington shirt. But do you think Warrington need to actually worry defensively about a sloppy performance this week against Hull KR, given that they gave absolutely zero away to a much more coherent attacking side in Catalans last week? I think it was a chance for them to take the brakes off and not give a shit about defence and actually try and sort out some things with attack. And I still think they need to sort out some things with attack. I don't think Ratchford at 6 is any better than Austin at 6.
I do think they were happily playing loosey-goosey with this one, because KR were very much the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get very excited about GI, but he was attacking against Ethan Ryan and Rowan Mills, and as you know, both of those were playing Championship Rugby League last year or the year before. So
Ethan Ryan did pull off a great cover tackle on Josh Conley, though.
He did. He absolutely, proper scruffed him by the neck. Yeah, he did. I'm not having a go at Ethan Ryan or indeed Rowan Mills, but they're,
yeah.
I'm just trying to put, the fellation of GI into context. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, first game for forever, so he's bound to be a little bit, getting up to speed. But yeah. I said it in the kind of the summary or the fan views. KR were banging this one until Memo intercepted that ball.
Well, it's kind of like we were talking about with the swing in the Wakefield Catalans game. Ryan Hall had just scored a try after a good start to the second half by Warrington / a sloppy try to the start to the second half by Rovers, but Ryan Hall had just scored a try, 22-all it was at that point. Then Darryl Clark had gone over from dummy half, really poor defending. I think it was Matt Parcell. So everyone who thinks Litton's kind of switches off sometimes, Parcell totally bought that dummy. But it was a 6-point margin, wasn't it? With just over 10 minutes to go, and Rovers were attacking down that left side where they'd had some good success. Ryan Hall with all those meters, a couple of tries. Him and SKD seem to be striking up a good attacking partnership. And well, what's his face? Linnett can't stop scoring tries either, can he? But they threw that pass that was intercepted, and it completely a good conversion as well from Stefan Ratchford on that one. And the game was then gone from 6 points to 12 points in a blink of an eye, and obviously that's when Rovers started throwing it about and dropping it a bit, and a couple of easy tries were scored off the back of that.
Yeah, it feels like it's just we'll play looser with it, because if we can get back in it, great, but if we kind of drop another 20 points, it doesn't matter, because we know Lee have got a much worse points difference than we have.
I think there are only 2 wins from safety, is the way I see it. I don't see, as long as those 2 wins come against Lee, I don't see Lee winning 5 games.
No, me neither. Not at the moment.
Not how things are, yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to have a turnaround. I'd love for it to
turn around. I want it to be competitive, but...
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it feels like Lee are just fulfilling their brief this year. Just don't make too much noise. Just take your £1 million and bugger off, would you? That's what it feels like to me. It doesn't feel like they're a competitive 12th side, and unfortunately, I think it's affecting the other teams. But anyway,
yeah, and I think this plays right into that point that you've made throughout. So, okay, let's move on to the last game. I'm sure some people enjoyed this one. It's a shame we couldn't see it.
Some people, I know one person really enjoyed this one. So it was the last game of the weekend. It was Huddersfield 14, Leeds 13. It was 6-4 to Huddersfield at the break, and Liam Moore was the man in charge. On balance of the stats, Huddersfield looked to have edged the game. They had a 2.2% better team tackle success rate, fewer penalties and errors, made 2 more breaks, just edged the metre stats. So for Huddersfield, Luke Yates did Luke Yates things, 52 tackles, 10 marker tackles and 128 metres. Josh Jones with 40 tackles and 154 metres. He turned up this week again.